Yeah, okay.
And we are back with another episode of Straight Out the Lou. I'm Dylan. We got Luke, Chris, and a special guest today, and Jack Balboni here. Today we're going to be covering college football, looking towards tomorrow's NBA draft with some season predictions for the NBA. We will recap this past week of NFL action and look forward to this weekend of the NFL. All right, boys. College football. What did we see this weekend? Luke, let's start with you.
Well, I'm going to start right now and say that Kyle Trask, he's not the most talented player in college football, but he right now damn near is the best player in college football. All stats-wise, there's no reason in the Heisman odds right now he should be fourth. No reason. I get Fields has played less games. Fields is better. No one's arguing that Fields and Trevor Lawrence are not better quarterbacks than Kyle Trask. But Kyle Trask should be first in the Heisman rankings right now. The dude just threw for 6 TDs in the first half. The guy is on pace to break so many college football records. I don't know how he's not first. Florida versus Bama, SEC championship game, huge win over Georgia. That was my main takeaway.
Do you think that if Bama beats Florida in the SEC championship game, does Mac Jones deserve the Heisman? If you're going off stats, because they have pretty similar stats.
I mean, yeah, but I think Fields will eventually pass Mac Jones because he's going to play more games, and I think Fields' stats will be better than Mac Jones once he gets there. I think Fields' stats will also probably be similar to Kyle Trask's. I don't think Lawrence will be able to get back because they've already played 7 or 8 games. He's only got
Hot
2.
take. I think Justin Fields is going to finish with as many touchdowns as incompletions or more touchdowns than incompletions. No. Until the Big Ten championship, I think he'll end with that shit, bro. Yes.
Really?
He's going insane.
Right.
I haven't seen any weaknesses in that offense. Who's going to stop him? Who's going to stop him before the Big Ten championship?
Have you seen Florida's defense? They'll shut him down in the SEC shit or in the playoff.
Yeah, I'm talking about before the Big Ten championship in the regular season. I don't see Fields
Indiana,
throwing more incompletions than touchdowns.
They play Indiana this weekend.
They're barely.
Yeah, but Indiana's I don't know. They're
Indiana
beat
Michigan State, so at least Indiana could beat Michigan State. That's all. That's all I know.
Yeah,
Chris, you got anything to add?
Transitioning here to Michigan, what is the next step here? We got 2 Michigan fans. What's the next step here, guys?
Chris, you want to start?
Oh, please take it away. I nothing to say.
I think the first thing they have to do, I think it's pretty obvious at this point, is they need a culture change. I think Jim Harbaugh is just not cutting it right now. I mean, just look at how that game played out on Saturday night. There was no energy, no fight, no spirit. Wisconsin scored, and Michigan pretty much packed their bags. There was no fight, and I think Jim Harbaugh is the cause for this. I mean, he runs the team. The teams year in and year out fail to come into play in big-time games, and the one parallel between all those teams that Jim Harbaugh is the head coach. And I just don't think, despite that they're still doing good on the recruiting trail, nothing is going to change unless he gets fired. So I mean, Ohio State has
Jim Harbaugh needs to go because Boney made a good point the other day that if J.J. McCarthy gets in his hands, the guy's just going to have one of the worst college careers. He's a very overrated quarterback developer. I mean, I'll give him that he did a good job with Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick with the 49ers, but guys coming out of high school, he hasn't developed the guy that he's recruited and then turned into a quality college quarterback. I mean, Shea Patterson came in that good and then he left the same. He really didn't get that much better at Michigan. So, I mean, J.J. McCarthy, he's looked really good. He's a 5-star recruit, but I don't know if Jim Harbaugh should be anywhere near that guy. So
yeah, the way I see it, this is kind of what happened in San Francisco. The guy just does not connect with his players at all. He just is not a very good motivator. Like you said with the culture, it begins to be the players and the coaches, and there's a separation there. It's not all one team. And then these players start playing for themselves when they don't get that sort of team culture, right? So, I mean, what I've been hearing from all the Michigan, college football insiders, and then what happened with the Niners is that these players start playing for themselves when stuff starts going poorly. There's no motivation there. They're not trying to pick their teammates up, right? And that's huge in college football. I mean, it's huge in any level of football, but I feel like in college, guys are going to screw up. These guys aren't, the best at play the sport. So there's going to be screw ups. And when that happens, you got to be able to rally around each other. And he's not creating a culture to do that right now, for sure. Like you were saying.
Yeah. And building off that, I think if you go back 4 years ago, say 4 years ago, 2016, if you were asked, like, Jim Harbaugh, probably one of the better coaches in college football. Don Brown was arguably the top defensive coordinator in college football. But it's 4 years later, things have changed, and they've just aged
Real
it out of the
Peppers?
game.
He was a good
Real
player.
Peppers. Very great.
Yeah,
Very
that
good
helps.
player.
That helps being the best defensive coordinator in the country.
Yeah. All right. So the way I see it, I've been calling for Jim Harbaugh's job ever since he decided to punt against Michigan State in 2015. So he should have been fired after that game. Don Brown, don't even get me started on him. But I'm not even going to give this team any airtime. Michigan basketball team opening up with Bowling Green.
Have you seen Michigan hockey? My boy going crazy.
Well, listen, we open up with
First two
Bowling
games
Green
going crazy.
from tomorrow. Very big game. I'll look to see what they're going to do there. I'm really disappointed, though, in the non-conference schedule so far. Bowling Green, Oakland, Ball State, UCF, and NC State. I'm hoping there's a couple other opponents in there that are going to be pretty good because we need a better non-conference schedule than that. But I'm not giving the football team any airtime, so I just wanted to discuss the basketball team a little bit.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Can we do quick playoff predictions? Just
For
mid-season
college
playoff
football?
predictions?
Yeah, go for it.
Real quick. 1 Ohio State, 2 Florida, 3 Notre Dame, or 3 Clemson, 4 Notre Dame.
So what happens in the ACC championship? Clemson beats Notre Dame.
Clemson beats Notre Dame, and Auburn's going to beat Alabama on the last week of the season.
Auburn's going to beat Alabama.
Auburn's going to beat Alabama.
With Bo Nix?
With Bo Picks. They beat him last year.
Jordan Hare.
It's at Bama. Okay, never mind. Scratch that. I forgot it was at Bama this year. Never mind.
It's not going to no.
I still think they're going to leave Bama out if Florida beats them because I think Ohio State's going undefeated, right?
Doesn't matter.
Notre
Dame will be left out.
Yeah, Notre Dame's going to be left out.
They're
They're not going to put in both the ACC teams, but then leave out one of the SEC teams, and they all have the same record.
Especially when Notre Dame beat Clemson with half their team.
So what do you think is going to happen, Chris? What do you think it's going to be?
I'll stick with my Florida pick, I guess, but I'll go Ohio State, Clemson, Florida, Alabama.
Yeah, I agree. I concur for sure.
What about A&M? Wouldn't A&M get in, though, if Bama loses to Florida?
I think A&M can get in if Florida loses. And Florida, I think they're going to lose to Alabama. But the only reason I'm sticking with Florida because I picked them before the season. But A&M I still think has a good shot.
Chris,
A&M would have to lose to Bama, right?
What's your path?
A&M already lost to
A&M
Bama.
getting in.
They already lost. A&M already lost to Bama.
For A&M to
right,
get
okay.
in, Alabama beating Florida, and Notre Dame beating Clemson, or Ohio State losing at some point.
If Notre Dame beats Clemson, then A&M's basically in if Alabama were to win too.
Yeah.
I think Alabama's going to win out. I mean, Florida's going to give them a good fight in the SEC championship game, but it's tough to bet against Nick Saban and just Alabama in general because I don't know, Florida's defense has looked a little.
Yeah, they're awful. They're fucking awful.
They're fine. They picked it up a little bit. They were real bad though early in the year.
They picked it up against Stetson Bennett and his bum ass shoulder. Come on,
dude. If we play Texas A&M again next week, we'd probably beat them.
Yeah, no, I agree. You guys are rolling on off. You're the Chiefs right now.
We've been rolling on offense all season. That hasn't been the problem. It's just Malik Davis fumbled with 2 minutes left to go in the game, and our defense couldn't stop like a peewee team. So I mean, the defense has picked it up though. But I mean, they're gonna have to cover Devontae Smith and
Mechie.
Yeah, Mechie.
Waddle wasn't playing, but
it's gonna be a shootout.
they still have Najee Harris.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Najee's dirty.
Najee Harris. Oh my god!
I don't know if Florida's front seven can hold up against that consistently.
We got Brenton Cox Jr. He's the only good player on the front seven. He's nasty.
But I'd say it's gonna go. I think Clemson's gonna beat Notre Dame in the ACC championship, and it's gonna go Bama, Ohio State at 2 because Ohio State's gonna win out. I think high key they're gonna get a real scare in the Big Ten championship game against Wisconsin. I mean, Wisconsin has a good quarterback now. In Graham.
Last year.
They did too. I mean, Wisconsin is closing that gap. I'll say that. That's Ohio State's biggest threat right now. But for now, I'm going to say Ohio State's going to win that game. So it's going to go Alabama, Ohio State, and then I'm going to go Clemson at 3. Who am I forgetting here? And then the fourth team, because Clemson.
A&M. It's A&M or Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's going to be a close one. I think they're going to take. as long as like A&M has to look really good because that's going to be
unless they put in Cincinnati. I mean, Cincinnati's been looking.
All right.
That's another point. I don't think Oregon's going to get in either because
Oregon stinks. Oregon's so bad.
They don't give
Oregon's not. No, they're not going to get the time of day. Yeah, no.
Maybe Oklahoma State if they win the Big 12, maybe because they still have one lawsuit at this point, and they would have to beat like probably.
They're losing this weekend. You know they're losing this weekend. Yeah, they are, Chris. Stop shaking. Yes, they are.
Go Cowboys. No,
I think Oklahoma's going to win this weekend too. But where's the game? It's in Oklahoma. Yeah. I'm going to stick with the Sooners. So I think that 4th team is up for grabs right now. But if I had to pick, I'd probably go with Notre Dame. I think they're going to throw them in just for the brand. See what happens.
I had except for Florida.
I think those are some good predictions right there for college football. All right, let's transition here to the NBA draft. Big draft tomorrow. Top 4 picks are going to be pretty. I don't know. It's looking pretty uncertain right now. There might be a couple trades before draft night. We'll see.
There will obviously be trades. There's always trades.
There will definitely, but I'm talking about in the top 4 picks, some like pretty big blockbuster.
The only one that would trade out of the top 4. The only one that would trade out of the top 4 is the Warriors.
I mean, that's big enough for me. All right.
Can I get started on my mock draft?
Get started on your mock draft for tomorrow's NBA draft, yes.
So Minnesota, they're not passing LaMelo Ball at number 1 overall. Chris, like you can think what you want, but they're not gonna pass him.
Sure, but you're like, oh, I'm not gonna pass him like he's some sort of generational player. The guy's not very good. This isn't a good draft.
He has the most upside of any player in the draft.
It's so ridiculous.
Upside means nothing. Every year there's a guy with unlimited upside, and then every year that guy's like 50-50 to bust. Like, you know?
Well, I'm telling you that LaMelo Ball is going to be a good player. And this is just a mock. I'm in the Timberwolves position here. Who they're going to take. I think they're going to take LaMelo Ball.
No, but continue.
And then Wiseman at 2, obviously, to the Warriors. And then Anthony – this is where I kind of got stuck here. I could see Charlotte maybe picking the guy from USC. I don't know how to say his name, but who used to play at Chino Hills.
That would be a Charlotte pick because Michael Jordan will find a way to mess it up.
Yeah, but I had them taking Anthony Edwards. I don't know how you can pass Anthony Edwards at 3. And then I have Chicago taking Obi Toppin at 4 because they just have so many guards. They have so many guards. Who are they going to take in that spot?
No.
They have Wendell Carter and then Obi Toppin in the front court. That's pretty solid. And then at 5, I got the center from USC going to Cleveland. That's my top 5.
Okay, fair enough. I had Edwards 1. I think that he's definitely going to end up with the T-Wolves. I think him and D'Angelo Russell in the backcourt would just be like filthy. Like those two, like
they're
complement
both
each other very well. They can both score. They can both score and be fine.
No, they're both ISO scorers.
You can change that. You can change that. That's an easy fix. Edwards is a generational type guy, and he's like more so than Ball. More so than Ball. He's more polished. Yes, he's more polished.
For sure.
He's the better player. He's going 1. Wiseman's going 2 unless they trade the pick. They might trade it to the Pistons is what I'm hearing now. That would be ridiculous. But
they would take either Ball or Edwards. The Pistons would. Whoever's there. They would take whatever guard. They have no guards.
But as of now, it's Wiseman 2. Ball's going to be 3 to the Hornets. I kind of would like to see MJ with Ball there. That'd be kind of wild.
He'll mess him up.
I don't care, though, because it's a small market.
I got Okongwu, USC guy, at 4. And then this Avdija guy from Israel. I don't know who he is, but I've been hearing in all the mock drafts, he's a solid guy.
You're sleeping on Obi Toppin.
No, Obi Toppin's going to go to the Knicks.
At 8? He's going to go to 8?
Yeah, he's gonna go.
Because I think the Hawks are going to trade out of 6.
People don't like his upside. I mean, I love the player. I saw him play in person last year at the Maui Invitational when they almost made a run at Gonzaga there. I mean, he's ridiculously good. He can post up. He can shoot from 3. He's decent handle for a big guy. You know, his defense is a little shaky. It's not there. And he's old, so it's, you know, that's where the concern is. But he's a solid player who can make an impact right away, most definitely. And he'll start on that Knicks team.
Yeah, so I don't really, honestly, I don't care about the draft in terms of the players that are not being taken by my team. And that's why I'm going to talk about the Celtics here a little bit. I want them to, whether it's trading up or him falling to them at 14, I want them to take Tyrese Halliburton. I think he's a great player. But I know that they won't, and I've made a meme.
Tyrese Halliburton from Iowa State.
Danny Ainge, all the same as Michael Jordan, because I can guarantee you what I'm going to call his draft strategy here. We're going to do? We're going to find the best players from college who almost certainly won't translate to the NBA. Stick them in
for Carson Edwards.
Yep. We're going to stick him in Portland, and then we're going to have the greatest G League team of all time. That is his strategy every year. That'll be his strategy tomorrow, and I already know it. And I already know I'm going to be so pissed off tomorrow night watching that draft, watching him completely screwed up. They have 3 first-round picks. I will sit here right now. I will guarantee you he will make all 3 of those picks and not trade them for any sort of decent, established player on a team that should be competing for a championship right now. He will take 3 G League players who will sit in Portland and do nothing.
At least you'll get to watch him in Portland, right, Chris?
3 first-round picks.
Yeah, that's right. I get my money's worth when I go to the Red Claws games every year. That's
Sure.
Oh
yeah, the Claws are going to be balling.
Yeah.
Danny Ainge is more concerned about you in Portland, making sure that you're all set up there.
Yeah, literally, Tremont Waters won the G League MVP last year. It's not a joke. This happens every single year. It's a complete joke, and Danny Ainge is the most overrated general manager in the history of sports.
Tony, any thoughts on the NBA?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, the Celtics got 3 first-round picks. I mean, knowing that they got, they're in win-now mode right now. They're building a team around Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. I would say, though, maybe hopefully they can hit a home run here, get a guy like Tyler Hero who just, slides in there at, 13, makes an immediate impact for the playoffs. But I don't know. I think the Celtics are, maybe one trade away from really being in it. And I think a cool fact that I was reading about the other day, that player from, I think it was USC, he played on the Melo Ball's high school team.
Yeah.
So they have
cool.
That team was just absolutely loaded. 3 NBA players on that team, 3 players that are probably going to be drafted within the top 5. And you're forgetting Jello, who was pretty good too, who was a D1 player at UCLA. And the guy who
got caught in China.
So, I mean, that team was pretty loaded. I think they beat IMG too.
And Montverde. They beat Montverde.
It was Montverde. That's the high school powerhouse. But I was reading that's the first time in a long time that a public school beat Montverde. So, all right, I have to head out, but it was a pleasure, boys.
All right, for sure.
You have a good one, Jack.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
All right, with
Chris,
let's transition.
Hold on, I want to get back.
Hold
on. I want to talk about the Celtics real quick because I didn't really get to talk about them. So in the middle tier of the draft, where there's always one good player that goes every year from 11 to 18, say. Last year it was Tyler Hero, Donovan Mitchell, those guys. I have the Pelicans at 13 taking Tyrese Maxey. And I think if the Celtics don't trade out of 14, I think that's the guy they're looking at, right, Chris?
I have no idea, but I think I don't know if he's going to be a good player or not. He's certainly explosive in college and looks like he can translate to the NBA. I don't know if he's going to follow them at 14, but I do know one thing. They will refuse to trade out of that pick at 14, and they will insist on taking a player that will not translate in the NBA.
See, then I have them at 14 taking Kiera Lewis Jr., point guard out of Alabama.
Yeah, actually, that's a perfect Danny Ainge pick right there.
And then going 15th, I have RJ Hampton because I know they wouldn't be starting.
Yeah. I saw one the other day, Cole Anthony, and I was like, oh my god.
I have him going at 20 to the Miami Heat. That's not working. Do not let the Miami Heat get Cole Anthony.
Oh, he sucks. He's not going to be good in the NBA. And
I saw it
the other day, and I was like, wow, this mock draft really knows Danny Ainge. They're going to take Cole Anthony, and this guy will be the greatest G League player of all time.
So, hold on. If Cole Anthony goes to Miami, you don't think he'll develop to be anything? They do a pretty damn good job of developing talent.
I just don't think they're going to take him because I don't think he's an NBA player.
Well, they need a point guard because Dragic is leaving.
Well, they'll find somebody else. I'm
Sure,
sure
Nico Mannion?
They'll probably do this magical thing that Danny Ainge doesn't know anything about it. Moving in the draft to take somebody.
I mean, he moved from 1 to 3 to take Tatum. That was a pretty smart move.
Yes. Well,
Didn't he turn that into Grant Williams and Jason Tatum?
They hit on guys that they get 1 through 6. They hit on those guys. That's not hard. But
that's what I was saying. Danny Ainge.
Anybody.
Danny Ainge has only hit on 1 draft pick ever, and that was technically Jason Tatum, but that doesn't count. I could make that pick with my eyes closed. But Jaylen Brown, that was a miss. He missed Jamal Murray.
That's hindsight's 2020. Brown's a good player. You didn't really miss on that.
Yeah, he did. He missed Jamal Murray.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did, dude. I was all over Jamal Murray. He missed Jamal Murray.
They're way too close in skill level for you to be like Brown's an all-star. He's an all-star caliber player. You can't. Oh, he missed.
Jamal Murray just averaged 28 points per game in the playoffs.
He's a good player.
Better than Jaylen Brown. I don't think that's really debatable.
But Jaylen Brown's an all-star. You can't say he missed.
Jaylen Brown is not an all-star.
Yes, he is.
Well, I don't need to listen to this.
Okay, let's get some predictions for the upcoming season. Who do you guys have winning it? Who do you have in your Final Four for the NBA?
Should we do like top 4 from each conference and then conference finals and then finals?
Yeah, go for that.
All right, so top 4 in the East in no particular order. I think it's going to be the Bucks, the Nets, the Heat, and the Celtics. And then in the West, I think it's going to be the Lakers, the Clippers, the Nuggets, and probably I don't want to say Phoenix, but it could be Phoenix. But I'll put the Mavericks in there at 4, actually.
That's bold.
And then I got Nets, Heat, conference finals, Heat. Oh, no, hold on. No, scratch that. I forgot the Warriors in the West. Hold on. I forgot the Warriors. The Warriors are going to win the West. I forgot the Warriors. The Warriors are going to win the NBA championship. They're going to beat the Heat next year in the championship.
There we go.
I forgot the Warriors. My bad. I totally forgot.
Yeah. In the East, I like Milwaukee. I think Toronto will find a way to finish second, just because they're just the classic regular season team, well coached. And
losing Van Fleet.
The Celtics and the Nets. I think the Nets are very good, but they're going to be injured a lot.
They got 2 coaches on their team too. 2 player coaches.
That's right. Warriors, Lakers, Clippers, Mavs. I'll go Bucks over Celtics, Warriors over Lakers, Warriors over Clippers, and then I'm going to take the Warriors to win the championship.
That's a good take. Out of the West, we got Warriors 1, we got Clippers 2, Lakers 3, Mavs 4. Out of the East, we definitely are going to have Bucks 1 again. 2's probably going to be the Celtics. I'll go 3 Heat and then 4 Nets. I think the Nets are probably just going to take it easy in the regular season.
Celtics are not a regular season team. They will not finish second in the Eastern Conference.
It'll be Nets Heat for the championship in the East. That'll be a 7-game series. I got the Nets winning. KD is going to end up playing the Warriors in the NBA Finals. It's going to be a blockbuster finals. Warriors in 6, though. Warriors in 6. Curry gets his first Finals MVP. That's the take for sure. All right, NFL. Huge game on Sunday night. What did we see out of the Pats, boys?
I mean, I was absolutely stunned. I mean, of course I was repping the boys after last week's win, because if we were going to win last week, might as well, try. So I was stunned. I mean, the weather obviously bailed them out in the second half. I mean, the Ravens could not move the ball at all. The run defense was surprising from the Patriots. I thought the practice squad man, Hall, had a pretty solid game, easily 10 times better than Bentley, no doubt. And, I mean, J.C. Jackson, still the most overrated corner in the game, but now he's in the defensive player of the year conversation because he got another freebie last game. I could have intercepted that one. Literally 6 games in a row, right? He has an interception, or is it 5?
I think he has 6 total now.
He has 6 total, but I think it's 5 in a row. And it's I mean, he's one of the most overrated defensive backs. Marquise Brown, I think we found out, is horrible. He's horrible.
Is he horrible, or is it just that Lamar can't get him the ball?
No, he can't get open. He just can't get open. He can't be a wide receiver 1. And I think we also found out that Cam, that after the first 2 weeks post-COVID, that actually was a main reason why he played so bad. He's still not good. I don't think he's a great pocket passer at all. But at least he's more accurate with his reads. He knows who's throwing the ball to. And, I mean, I think Myers should start a quarterback, honestly. Geez, did you see that throw? Beautiful. 1 for 1 in his career, perfect passer rating. I mean, he's the greatest quarterback of all time. So, in that sense, maybe they put him in back there. You can run some different sets. I think McDaniel's play calling is just way too predictable, though. I understand that we're a pound run the ball team, but you can't send people in motion and run 5 wide from the 2-yard line, because then you're just telling the defense that Cam's running the ball, and they stop that. And you're just telling them that he's going to run it. At least have a fullback that back there and have the fullback lead block. I don't know. I think N'Keal Harry had a great game blocking, because that's all he did. He actually set up both touchdowns for the Patriots, and also Patrick Queen's the most overrated linebacker in the world.
He's just fast.
That guy's awful. He's off. He missed every single hole, and they were like on Collinsworth was like, Patrick Queen, one of the best linebackers in football. He couldn't make a tackle. He literally could not tackle anybody. It was unbelievable. And Damian Harris is going to be here for probably 2 to 3 more years.
Yeah, he's solid.
He's solid. He's good. And I was very impressed.
I have no idea how in the world we beat the Ravens. But like Luke said, I was rooting for the Jets last week. Patriots, I don't know why, but they won. And, this week I was rooting for the Patriots. We're going to try. Whatever. Somehow, I don't know how we won.
Belichick
and McDaniels. That was one of the greatest coaching that was one of the greatest coach games I've ever seen in my entire life. And Myers is good. Obviously didn't have a good relationship with Brady last year, but you got to give credit to Cam for building that relationship with him, even though Cam sucks. But I think this game says more about the Ravens, honestly. They're very limited. They've never, with Lamar Jackson, been able to overcome a deficit. They just can't play from behind. And, Belichick did turn on the rain there at the end of the game. And credit to him for doing that. But Lamar Jackson sucks. He can't throw the ball. They should start looking for a quarterback in the draft next year because he sucks.
Maybe they'll ask for Myers. I mean, he's perfect passer already.
Jackson can't throw the ball. He's a good runner. He's a great athlete. But the guy can't throw. He completes the little stick routes to Mark Andrews. Fantastic. Congratulations. But he cannot throw the ball down the field. And I think that's a problem for the Ravens. They're limited when they get in the postseason because of it. We've seen it. And as for the Patriots, who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if they finish season 4-12. Wouldn't be surprised if they finish season 11-5. I have no idea what's going to happen with them. We'll see.
So let me hear some career predictions for Lamar Jackson. Where is he going to stand 5 years from now?
Cam Newton.
He's going to be he's going to be Cam Newton. Yeah.
So he'll still be around. He'll still be starting, but he's not going to be.
He's still going to be like considered top 10 injury, depending on injuries. That's what knocked Cam really out of the game the last 2 years, the injuries. But from Cam, how Cam was from 2011 to 2017 is exactly what Lamar Jackson is. This is the exact same.
I think Cam played better in those years. I mean, okay, yeah, I can't really say that. I can't really say that when he comes off the MVP season. It's he's played decent, but
they gotta get Lamar
lately. The NFL has seemed to figure out the scheme that the Ravens ran last year with Lamar.
Yeah,
they understand that he's very limited passing. He's gonna scramble. They've been spying him pretty well. I mean, that's all you really have to do. It's like the Titans kind of introduced the formula in the playoffs last year, and then every other team's ran with it. I mean, they're going to have to completely restructure their offense if they want a chance to really do something after the season, I think. It's looking bad.
So. I don't think Lamar will ever win a Super Bowl in his career, and the team is absolutely loaded. I mean, granted, they could get him a few more wide receivers than Willie Snead, but, I mean – that team's loaded. I don't think he'll ever win a Super Bowl, especially not with Mahomes, Lawrence. All these guys are going to be studs. Wilson's going to be around for 5 years. Herbert, Tua 3-0.
Kyler
Murray. There's so many better quarterbacks than him, and there's so many quarterbacks I'd rather have. And you're still in – if this is considered Lamar Jackson's prime, which I think it is – I think this is when Michael Vick's prime was. I think this is Lamar Jackson's prime.
He's still the second best team in the division in his prime. Not even the best team in the division.
Exactly. The Steelers and Roethlisberger's playing amazing right now. I mean, I just don't think he'll ever win a Super Bowl. Maybe he'll get another MVP. Who knows? But I don't know. It's not looking good for the Ravens.
No, they're in a bizarre place right now for sure. It's a little weird.
I mean, they're 6-3. but they're like a real 6. Like the Browns are 6 and I don't know how the Browns are 6-3. Like they were talking on They were talking on ESPN today. Like the Browns could give the Ravens like a fight, and I was like, what? I was like,
dude, maybe though. I mean, fuck,
no, they beat them 45-3 the first game of the season.
Yeah, but the first game of the season. Like...
Yeah. Other NFL stuff. Russell Wilson, another loss. Classic, just classic. Did you see that throw he had on the run? Like he tried to throw it to like the back of the end zone. Like, did you see that, Chris?
Yeah,
like, I bet you,
that was awful.
Like, dude, another awful game from Russell
Wilson.
He's
trying to do too much.
That's it. I was going to say the same thing. He's pressing.
I mean, or the receivers are running the wrong route. So, I mean, you never know. But, like, yeah.
I think it's about time for me to go on my excuse tirade for Russell Wilson right here. Because, let's be honest, and I heard this from Colin Cowherd yesterday, and because Colin Cowherd's always right, as we know. He said –
Ravens going 16 now.
Yeah, exactly. He said yesterday that he does not believe that the Seahawks would win a single game in this league if Russell Wilson was not playing for them. And I think he's right. They are awful. Their roster is terrible. Their defense is absolutely brutal. They have one good wide receiver. They have no running game. Their offensive line is awful. They just doesn't have any help. And whoever's the GM in Seattle, I don't know who it is, whatever, they need to be fired. And they should not be allowed to be a GM of any team at any level ever again, because this has been the same recurring theme for the last 5 years with the Seahawks. There is no help around Russell Wilson, and it needs to be fixed. Listen, he wasn't very good yesterday. That was a classic Seahawks game. We're going to go in and lose some random game that we should win, and it might cost him in the end. With the Rams, I think the Rams might win this division. The Rams might be the best team in this division. They're good.
Big rematch on Thursday with Kyler.
Yeah, that's a big game. I think hopefully the Seahawks can get that done. But those are my excuses for Russell Wilson for this week.
I mean, with the Seahawks giving up all those picks to get Jamal Adams too. I mean, once Russ goes on a decline, he's made some bad plays. But once Russell Wilson either starts to get hurt or just goes on the decline, the Seahawks are going to be like the Browns from like 2016, 17. Like they're going to be awful. They're going to have no picks. They're going to have no future. And they're gonna have no good players. Like it's gonna be bad. And Carroll will be gone by then.
They got to convert on some draft picks coming up here. Well, they just traded them. So, yeah, this is not a good spot for the Seahawks.
Yeah, they never hit on draft picks either. Brutal.
Not ideal for them. I mean, the rest of the NFL last week I think was pretty straightforward. We found out again that why Herbert is the most overrated quarterback in the league, losing again, and I think Tua is on a really good path right now, even though he's only throwing for like 20 times a game. Like this is exactly how Brady came into the league. Like they would just have him dink and dunk 20 times a game and live on the run in the defense, and it's working out right now for Miami. And I would be afraid of them.
I think they're the best team in the division.
I think they are too.
I was
solid
too.
I think. Never mind. I lost it. Go ahead.
Buffalo. You talking about Buffalo?
Yeah, that's just classic Buffalo to lose that game like that. It's hilarious.
Dude, my fantasy team just thrived off of that. Diggs and Hopkins, unbelievable.
That's a rally.
It was huge. It was unbelievable. I mean, when he threw that up, like, did you see that he was wearing like the Jordan gloves? So they're like, Here comes like a Jordan commercial. Yeah, that was funny. I mean, that was just an unreal catch. I mean, can't believe the Texans gave up a second round pick for him. Yeah, they only got a second round pick. I mean, that's just awful.
It's insane.
Yeah.
All right, boys. That was a great podcast. It was good to get back to it. I think we probably should get back to some more remote podcasts in the future. So audience, stay tuned for that. And with that, I think that's a wrap. All right, boys. That was Straight Out the Lou. Great episode.